everybody, it's Ann, and I'm back today with some books to talk about. Now for this Browse the Stacks, I literally went out and browsed the stacks. I went to our new adult fiction collection to see what might catch my eye, and as I might have mentioned, I am a fan of fantasy books, and as you'll notice from the covers of these books, I'm also a fan of dragons because two of the three have dragons on the cover. So with that, theme we're gonna roll with, browsing the stacks, what catches my eye? Dragons. Dragons catch my eyes. So here's the first book I have to talk about. It's Servant Mage by Kate Elliott. And here's dragon. And here's what it says on the inside cover. They choose their loss to secure their power. Felian is a lamplighter, a low-level mage with the ability to create and sustain light by tapping into the demonic energy that permeates her bones. When a group of rebel monarchists free her from indentured servitude, she is forced to confront what she thought she knew about the world and the way it works. Caught up in a conspiracy to kill the latest royal baby and wipe out the monarchist movement for good, Felian must choose between duty and survival. Luckily, she has more than just her lamplighting skills up her sleeve. I'm intrigued. That sounds super interesting, exciting, sounds like some classic fantasy elements going on there, and again, dragon. So the next book's cover caught my eye when I was ordering it, actually, and again, on the shelf, I think it's beautiful artwork. It's Beholden by Cassandra Rose Clark. Here's a little blurb. Two sisters, a pregnant aristocrat and a scholar magician, race to prevent a looming cataclysm between an immortal being and the emperor himself. Max Gladstone describes this book as a wonderful, creepy quest through a magical, ever-changing wilderness with the world at stake and love in the balance. More, please. Haven't read it yet, but everything I've read so far to you makes me say more, please, too. And again, beautiful cover art. One thing I love about books and fantasy books specifically is you can get some really beautiful illustrations. And the next and final book I have to talk about is the first in a series. Now, before I get to the book, I will say a friend of mine once said that he waits until all of the books in a series have published so that you don't run into the situation where you either have to reread the books because you don't remember what happened, or something happens and the next book doesn't get published and then it's been like 10 years and we've all been there. Anywho, this book is This Broken World, book 1 of the Vortex of Worlds series by Charles E. Gannon. I cannot tell you how hard I'm resisting making a reference to Ganon from the Legend of Zelda series. Oh, I just did. Okay, anyway. War Dragon. Fate and Revelation. Since boyhood, Drúdain expected he'd command an elite legion and become the leader his father predicted he would be. Fate had other plans. Assigned to a small group of outriders tasked with watching nearby kingdoms, Drúdain discovers that the larger world is riddled with impossibilities. How do humanoid raiders known as the Bent suffer staggering losses yet return as a vast horde every decade? How do multi-ton dragons fly? How have fossils formed in a world that Sacris insist has existed for only 10 millennia? To solve these mysteries, Drúdain journeys into the dank warrens of the Bent, seeks out a dragon's lair, and ventures into long-buried ruins in search of ancient scrolls. But Drúdain's most lethal enemies might lurk in evil... Let's just try that whole sentence again. But Drúdain's most lethal enemies might lurk in even more unusual places, the temples and council chambers of his own homeland. An epic fantasy from the award-winning author of the Kane Riordan science fiction series. Dragon on the cover, as discussed. Love me a dragon. So, those are 3 fantasy books that are on our shelves now that you might want to check out. Even just to look at the art. I mean, what a fun part of browsing for books is just to look at the cover art sometimes. So what have you been reading lately? I hope you've been enjoying something. We are always happy to help with recommendations, and I hope you're enjoying your spring. See you next time.